Welcome to the Real News Network. I'm Mark Steiner. Great to have you all with us. Haitians are in revolt. For the last 6 days, thousands of Haitians have taken to the streets, demanding the ouster of Jovenel Moïse and his government. Some say the revolt is about opposition to raising gas prices, like the Yellow Jackets in France. But it's not a mimic nor a mirror image of that revolt. The roots of this revolt in Haiti are in Moïse's election that many saw as tainted, maybe stolen. It's wrapped up in the United States' efforts to oust Venezuela's government, pushing the Haitian president to denounce him and support that ouster. It's about the $4 billion loan given to the Haitian government to develop the country via Venezuela's Petrocaribe program, and the double-digit inflation making some of the world's most impoverished people even poorer. And it's about the 228-year-old U.S. effort to control Haiti and Haitians' resistance to that. Could this be the beginning of another revolution like the one 33 years ago that ousted Claude Baby Doc Duvalier? Maybe. We'll see. And we'll try to unravel all of this as we talk with Kim Ives, who is an editor of Haiti Liberté. And Kim, welcome to The Real News. Good to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Glad to be with you, Mark.
So let me open our conversation with this clip of what's happening in the streets, as well as a statement from the president of Haiti. And we can take it from there.
Down with Jovenel. We are going to burn the country down if he does not step down.
We need a new government, a government that cares about the youth. We are tired of the current system.
We went to elections. A part of the population voted. I am president. I am ready to speak to all my brothers and sisters over the difficulties the country is facing. To my brothers and sisters in the opposition, the door's open so as to reach a solution.
So I guess the question, Kim, let's just start here. So talk about what the reality of what people just saw is. I mean, who is Moïse? How did he become president? How does that play into what we're seeing now, and why the anger is so deep in the street?
Well, Jovenel Moïse was indicted when he came into office. When he ran for office, he was indicted by the corruption unit, which found evidence that he was laundering millions of dollars. Now, where did that money come from? Most likely Petrocaribe. We haven't had a real forensic analysis of it yet, but it's probably not drug trafficking or kidnapping, which are the other two sort of sectors of the Makut and neo-devaluerist group he's connected with. But the Petrocaribe money was just a huge cash cow for them. And so he came to power through having the best funded campaign, largely through this Petrocaribe money, and through the fact that his business, which was basically a shell corporation of sorts called Agritrans, supposedly exporting bananas to Germany. It only exported 2 shipments to Germany. So it was pretty much a front to receive this money. And in fact, one of the sparks that have set off the latest uprising is what the accounting court in Haiti basically did their review of the Petrocaribe money that was spent, and found that his firm received a lot of that money to fix a road and do other repairs, but they didn't do it. So Jovenel Moïse is really the protege of the founder, we can say, of this group, a guy called Michel Martelly, who came into power in 2011.
The previous president.
The previous president,
right.
Yes. The previous elected president, I should
right.
say, or maybe elected.
We can explore that if we have time. Yeah.
Right. We'll explore that. He basically came into power through the good graces of Hillary Clinton, who was then Secretary of State. To do a real thumbnail, the earthquake happens in January 2010. The U.S. government and Bill Clinton basically take over the Haitian government. President René Préval, who was some kind of ally of President Jean-Bertrand Aristide back in the day, they'd somewhat estranged, but he was very much sidelined, and he had his candidate in that election, who came in second and was going to be in the runoff. But Hillary Clinton, in the middle of the Arab Spring, flew down to Haiti and read him the riot act and said, no, your candidate's not going to be in there. It's going to be Michel Martelly, who placed a third, apparently. And so Preval basically bowed down, as was his wont, and he ended up replacing Jules Celestin with Martelly. So Martelly came into power that way, and he was the one who, I could say, plundered the lion's share of this Petro-Caribe fund. The Senate of Haiti had two commissions which put out two different reports which found that about $2 billion was misappropriated, but the full amount of money that came in was between 3.8 and 4.2 billion. So that's what the Haitian people are asking, where that money has gone.
So a couple of quick questions here, and before I come right back to Venezuela and Haiti and where we are now and what could happen. You mentioned as you began this, the Tonton Macoute, the dreaded secret police from both Papa Doc and Baby Doc Duvalier's regimes.
Yes.
So are you saying that the Tonton Macoute that terrorized the Haitian population is involved in this new government, that they are, the remnants of that group are actually still doing criminal activity and being involved?
Yes, well, Macoute is in the Haitian community kind of a shorthand for a particular sector. Haiti's ruling class has two ruling groups, a bourgeoisie, a sort of comprador bourgeoisie, imports refrigerators, washing machines,
right,
chiclets, and exports the coffee, sugar, and cacao, that kind of thing. Back in the day, this was 30 years ago. Those two sectors have kind of merged over these years as the popular movement has risen. They used to be rivals, but now they've had to kind of put aside their rivalry and join together in what the Haitians call a Macuto bourgeoisie, this big landowning sector, what's called the Grandons in Haiti. Their force, their expression politically and repressively is the Tonton Macoute, these kind of thugs. And so Macoute is a word that's used to more or less delineate this sector of big landowning, now more criminal power.
So I'm curious, this erupted, we're saying, at least from what we're seeing, 6 days ago in the streets. I'm curious why it erupted now, A, and B, is there a political organization? I mean, like before, when the folks were gathered around people like Aristide and Jean Just and others who were opposing the dictatorial regimes of Duvalier, is there an organization that's behind this as well, or is it just the streets erupting? What exactly is happening?
Well, it's more the latter. It's more the streets erupting. There are the Lavalas family of Jean-Bertrand Aristide is still there. There's been a split-off group which is headed by a former associate of Aristide, now since alienated, called Senator, he was an ex-senator now, Moïse Jean Charles. And there is a sort of coalition group called the Popular and Democratic Sector, headed by an outspoken attorney named André Michel.
Are they united now around this?
Not really. They have occasional alignments, and there's one third sector, which is that of the which was aligned with the former president, René Preval. He's died last year, but his sort of proteges still run it, in particular a guy called Jackie Lumarc, who's at the head of a university down there called Quisqueya University. This is sort of the enlightened bourgeoisie. They're the kind of liberal sector, and they pushed the Petro-Caribe question very forcefully starting last summer. So those are kind of the three sectors, but the streets don't really recognize them. I mean, just the other day, the opposition, mostly around the Democratic and Popular sector, tried to have a meeting, and the people said, listen, we don't recognize you, and they're in the streets. So it's very similar, really, Mark, to 1986, when there wasn't a clear leadership, there wasn't a real vanguard organization leading it. No, this is more from the streets, and a lot of, in fact, it's getting, as most revolutionary situations are, very confusing, because you have all sorts of former allies of Jovenel Moïse and Michel Martelly, people like Yuri La Tortue, who the U.S. Embassy, as we revealed in WikiLeaks cables, called a poster boy for corruption and a mafia chieftain. He's now part of the movement to oust Jovenel, along with a lot of other total scoundrels, total right-wing scoundrels, and they are all in this together.
So we're here talking about what's going on in Haiti with our guest, Kim Eves, and we're about to explore what is actually happening with Venezuela, the U.S., and why that's part of this, and where this may take Haiti. So we're going to end this segment here and come back with a fresh segment with Kim Eves looking at that. So stay with us here at The Real News.